was late, 12 o'clock. I was like, just sign it. And there was a 25-page contract. And I was just like, sign it because I wanted the job. And she kept telling me, don't sign it. Have someone else read this because there's a lot of stuff here I don't understand. So that morning, I sent it to my lawyer. First text I get, 4:30 a.m. in the morning. Jesse, do not sign that contract.
So we have JG Concrete. JG Concrete has been with us for how long? 4 months?
4 or 5 months?
4 or 5 months.
Yeah. Actually, at the last event, that's when I started talking to you about.
Yeah, that's when we started talking. We're part of the Rosewood group, right?
Yeah.
So we both connect there a lot, and yeah, I mean, I just want to know a little bit of a backstory about you personally in your business, right? So, like, what got you into concrete?
So I've always been around concrete. Basically, my dad started it. So from my dad, it was just passed down to me. I didn't really like school, so I liked the trade. So I learned how to finish concrete since I was little. So basically, I consider that my college because that got me to where I'm at now.
Yeah. So you used to work for your dad, and then you decided one day, hey, I'm going to start a concrete company? Or how did that work?
So he worked for a company, and then I worked for that company too. And then in, I would say 2000, he opened up his own company. And then I worked for him, but I gotta say, most guys get stuck in that old mentality, that machismo mentality, that no advertisement, do everything the hard way. If like me, like if my dad would probably see me now, they're like, you're not really working, you know, you have to be out in the field. But that's where I wanted to change my technique. So after my dad passed, I got out of the business because I didn't want to do it anymore because of, you know, dealing with that. But something got into me, it's like, hey, I know how to do this. I like doing it. And then it was kind of like a tribute back to him that he left me with this.
That's cool.
The bull, most people think, why do you have that bull logo? It's for him. Because they used to call him El Toro, his nickname, El Toro or El Becerro. So that's where the logo comes from as a bull.
That's badass.
So there's meaning behind that bull.
That's cool.
So it was like a tribute to my dad.
Yeah. I like the bull. I mean, from what I've seen, it's everywhere.
Yeah, and it's I like it too. It's a sign of power, I guess.
Yeah.
You know. So and I'm a Taurus, but doesn't mean anything.
All right. All right. So when did you start your business?
Back in 2021 is when I got my license.
Okay. And you were working off, how did you get your leads?
I was working on hopes and dreams. That's basically what I was working on. Because I didn't know, like you said, most guys, I think most of us, we start off by just referrals. And that's why I go back to, I wanted to get out of that mentality. I didn't want to get stuck in that same, I see all these older guys just not advancing. So that's when I joined the Rosewood group on learning how to charge, the marketing, the branding, and I just wanted to put that all together.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was cool. It was cool seeing you, because when I met you, I was like, oh, that guy's cool. And I know that you're part of Danny's group, right?
Yeah.
The Rosewood. And,
yeah.
And I kind of went in the middle. You were already part of the group, so I know you've said you've taken a lot of things from that. Like, what have you taken from Danny and his group? And that
honestly, I've taken everything. I don't know if I heard you heard me talk on our group sessions. Like I followed Danny to the T. I mean, absolutely to the T, to wrapping the porta potty, branding everything. Like all my vehicles are branded. My everything that Danny has implemented to me, I've followed it. That's why I always say thank you to Danny, because I followed him to the T. I might not talk much because I'm shy, but I just I'm the person that likes to soak everything in and then implement it too when I'm out in the field. And honestly, then I got to meet Chris, so.
Honestly, I'm the same way, actually.
Oh, really? It doesn't seem like it. It does not seem like it.
I have to change, so it works.
I guess we have to change, right?
Yeah. I've been forced to change, and now it's normal, and it's cool.
Yeah, like you said, you have to be, well, you say it to me or Danny, I have to show my face on Instagram, and I don't like doing it. I don't like being in front of a camera, but something that we have to do so people know who JG is or who we are, right?
Yeah, you got to get uncomfortable to get comfortable.
I guess
it's
weird.
What they say, right?
Yeah.
But it is, because like, I'll be on videos, no problem at all. I get on stage sometimes and I'm like, oh shit, it's a little different.
Yeah, you shut down.
She's my biggest critic right here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it works.
It works.
Yeah,
it works.
I need it.
Yeah, you need it.
You know, if she doesn't do it, then nobody else will.
Exactly.
So it's good. So that's why it's good having a good partner.
That's another big partner. So that's because I have my wife's behind the scenes, but you guys never really, you barely don't see her come out here. But she's the backbone of keeping everything together.
Yeah. Like what? Like say
Not
more.
getting
Say
paid,
more.
Chris. Not getting paid.
Hey man, it's not my fault. I got
Where's
you
my
the job.
money, Chris?
I got you
I'm
the
just
job.
kidding. It's a joke we have because he understands what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So she has to deal with my stress.
Yeah, I bet. She same
Yeah,
thing.
she knows.
Yeah. So, okay, let's back up a little bit. So yeah, you use the porta potties. That's a famous porta potty that Danny puts online, and not a lot of people do it actually.
No,
but you do it.
Yeah, I do it all the time. Like I made sure the guys were set up today, and that I had a porta potty delivered. I'm like, guys, make sure that's the number one rule. Take all the wood and put my logo on it, because it's a housing tract.
Yeah.
And I don't see a lot of people doing it. Which is weird to me because that thing changed my business like from night to day.
Yeah. Really? How? Like, did you get leads?
Just people started noticing that being professional, that, oh, he doesn't just leave a porta potty in my house. Imagine these guys are spending $1 million home and you have a porta potty just sitting there. At least I cover it, make it look nice. And that's a big difference. It really is.
I remember you brought up in one of the meetings that you got a lead from it, or some leads from it, right? From the neighbors?
From the neighbors. So they drive by and now everyone knows me. It's the bathroom guy. So they'll take a picture of my my logo because it has my phone number. So that's how I'm getting leads from that.
And then they see all your cars, they see the bull, and then boom.
Yeah, so my logo has the bull, my number, and they see all the bull, and they already know that's the bull guy, or that's Jesse, or JG. So they already know.
What made you decide to do marketing?
Again, we go back to Danny. I was watching what Danny was doing. The only thing I was missing was marketing. That was the final piece to the puzzle, you could say. So, and then I met you, and I was like, hey, that guy's kind of cool. Let me try him out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the reason why.
Cool. And I know it was, you're like, when you called me, you were ready to go.
Yeah.
You were ready, and you're like, I don't know, I'm gonna give it a shot. I guess we'll give it a 3-month run, right?
Yeah, and kind of what I was telling one of the guys that it's his first time here at the event. What I told him is, most guys that, like Danny said too, most guys have money and then they try to invest in other ventures. I don't know. I would say like Bitcoin or stock market. If that's your thing, have at it. I decided to invest in myself and my business, because that's something I could control. So when I knew marketing, I took that money, put it aside, and I said, I'm gonna invest this in myself in advanced marketing. So I already knew that money, where it was gonna go. I didn't care if I lost it or whatever, or if it didn't work out, right?
Yeah, right.
But I invested in myself instead of investing in other things that I don't have control of. I can't go into a restaurant business because I don't know nothing about restaurants, but I know my line of work.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a risk too.
It's a risk.
It's a risk, and it's also a lot of pressure on me when you told me that. I'm like, fuck, we got to do something now.
Yeah.
We got to figure this out.
Yeah.
Because it is a lot of pressure on our end, especially when somebody's never ran ads before, and getting started, it's their first time. We kind of plan to get yelled at sometimes because there's going to be one day where we get yelled at. So,
but the good thing about you, Chris, is we hit it off right away. So I'll tell everybody, if you guys go with Chris, he's like I gotta say he's like my friend. So it's not like how can I say, you make me feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's why I trusted in you. Because I had other people reach out to me, but I was like, no, I gotta go with Chris.
Yeah.
And not just because he's in our group or like, oh, I gotta go. It's just, if you guys ever meet him, this is a nice guy, and he makes you feel comfortable when you're gonna spend money.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
And you like Psycho Realm, so do I.
Yeah, so we both like Psycho Realm,
Psycho Realm.
so it's pretty rare for someone that likes Psycho Realm. So when you meet
Exactly.
someone, you hit it off.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So let's go over the big lead you got.
Okay,
the big
so
one.
everybody asked
Time.
for the big fish.
Yeah.
The big fish that
big-
you caught for me.
the big tuna.
The big tuna. So basically, Chris was driving the boat. I was just fishing. That's basically how we look at it, right?
Yeah.
Well, just being, I would say the first month I started with Chris, he was just getting everything organized, my website, my number, everything. That following month, I would say the second month is when did I got that call.
Yeah.
And like I got the call and it was an area code that I'm not familiar with because we get spam calls, but I answered it. I don't know why something told me to answer it. But I answer most calls, even if it's spam. I answer it because you just never know what it's going to be. Mm-hmm. And there was a project manager from Six Flags, told me he had a project for me and if I was interested. And I said, sure, I'll meet up with you. I'll drive over there because I was close by. I'm going to go over there. And as soon as I showed up, he says, oh, I'm glad you showed up. You're the only one that answered. And I laughed. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, yeah, I went down the list and 2 guys didn't answer. You're the third one that answered. And I just laughed. I was like, oh, that's funny. And I didn't think that much of it. I'm thinking it's a little job. I didn't think it was something big. So when I get into the project, he's like, all this has to be all ripped out. And I'm talking almost half of Magic Mountain. I'm pretty
Damn.
sure it's going to be more by the time I leave Magic Mountain, but
Yeah, it started off as how much at first? Like $1 million maybe, or?
I started off like at 1.3, 1.2.
Uh-huh.
Right now I'm like at that almost that 4 million mark, probably
Yeah.
even more, because now there's they want me to bid like on a restaurant. They're going to demo it and pour concrete. So I don't know where I'm going to be at, but I owe Chris a lot. So
And probably some change orders too.
yeah, change orders. There's a lot. There's already a couple in there. So
A lot of people want big jobs though. So that's one thing that I think people should understand is sometimes the big jobs are a little scary because they can put you out of business too, right?
So should I
hear.
tell him why that joke was that I said earlier?
Yeah.
Why I'm trying to get my money from Chris. So these big jobs. This is my first big job. I'm not a millionaire. All this money is being upfront by me. So this company has a 90-day pay. I'm not going to see money for 90 days. I'm not going to get a check. So all this money is coming out of my pocket. I'm talking payroll, material. The good thing is the concrete company, they're willing to give me a 30-day net pay, but they're only giving me 30-day pays and I have to pay. So I'm fronting all this money and nothing's coming in. So that's
Yeah.
where the hard part about the big jobs is that I would say that's the hardest part about big jobs, and it's my first time dealing with that because residential, I'm collecting money and it's easy. But these big jobs, people are saying I'm in the big leagues, but it's stressful.
It's called cash conversion cycle. So from the lead, when you get the lead, to when you actually get paid. So the cash conversion cycle is 90 or even longer
Yeah, it
because
could
of
be
how long
longer.
it takes to get closed. And that's if they pay you. Because
Yeah.
sometimes they take a while to pay you, right? And you're chasing down your check.
Not just that, they're also a way they want me to invoice. So this is a little bit behind the scenes that I don't know most people talk about it. They have their own, I could say their own spreadsheet how they want me to invoice, and then it has to be notarized. So I have to go pay to get paid, which is funny, right? So each invoice I sent has to be notarized, and I have to go through their formula. There's a 10% retention, so it's just.
Wow.
That's the stuff that I can't deal with, so that's what my wife is dealing with. So it's probably stuff that people haven't heard, but
Also from what I knew from when I got out there, one of the things I learned is that if you don't complete your job on time, they actually charge you, right?
yes, there's a back.
Every day?
You get charged there's a contractor there. They're delayed and they're getting charged $1,200 a day because they get behind on schedule. So if you get behind, there's penalties behind that.
Yeah, so if you're taking a big project, make sure you can actually fulfill it because you can put yourself out of business.
And before, the most important thing is get a lawyer. And I'll tell you, I'll try to get the story fast. I wanted that big job and I was just telling my wife, sign it, just sign it. And she kept telling me, how you say she's important to you?
Yeah.
She's the one that saved me because it was late, 12 o'clock. I was like, just sign it. And there was a 25-page contract. And I was just like, sign it because I wanted the job. And she kept telling me, don't sign it. Have someone else read this because there's a lot of stuff here I don't understand. That's why it's very important to listen to your partner. So that morning, I sent it to my lawyer. First text I get, 4:30 a.m. in the morning. Jesse, do not sign that contract. It is horrible. Do not sign it. Let me go through it. So then there was a legal process we had to go through. So I always say I owe my wife so much because of that. Because I would have been in so much. They were trying to get, like, if the stucco guy messes up, they hold payment on me. So like little stuff that I did not know in those big jobs.
So without the lawyer, you could have been stuck owing some money, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
So in those big jobs, I recommend, even if you're coming out of pocket, pay for the lawyer, make the lawyer look over that contract because it saved me a lot. Because who knows, I probably wouldn't have been here if I would have just signed.
And now it's time to get you some residential jobs so you can get some cash flow coming in.
Now give me some residential jobs, dude.
I'll try to get you some smaller jobs.
Yeah, give me some smaller ones. And it's another thing about Chris. Now, like I told him, now I can't keep up with all the leads coming in. So that's another good thing, and I owe you a lot.
Yeah, man. And looking forward to seeing you grow, man. I'm glad you gave us the opportunity. I really appreciate it. I was actually walking up here, pacing back and forth when I was talking to you. I remember, and I was like, "Man, we're gonna help him out."
Yeah,
so
and you overdid it for me. Now stop with the leads.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Cool, man. We'll try to get you some smaller jobs.
All right, thank you, Chris.
Yeah, cool. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.